Hey Taurus, what's up? We're here with a timeless reading. Welcome. Okay, first card that we have out is Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups centers around connection. Ooh, I'm also seeing the moon here. It's Pisces. Seeing the sun on the bottom of the deck. Okay. It looks like there's some type of connection that you're exploring. To have the Ace of Cups here, as much as this can be a connection with another person, you can feel like this is connecting with yourself in some way. And to have the moon here, there can be some connection that has to do with like psychic abilities, spiritual stuff. There can be like something here that you're connecting with, something that you're exploring, something that you're finding out, something that you're going into. It feels like something really spiritual, Taurus, that's being connected with. This feels like unknown stuff or unseen things. Things that if you're tuning in, you're able to make them out, but otherwise maybe wouldn't pick up on. It feels like you're deliberately exploring these things, Taurus. Again, feels like really, really like a highly spiritual energy, the way this is coming through. Wow, the Two of Cups as well. There's a sense of deep connection. There can be like feelings that are reminiscent of home within this. Exploration, I'm hearing. For some of you, there can be another person that's involved in this, but for others of you, you can be connecting with other energies that are having you feel like you're not alone in this way. It's something that would feel connective to you, to have the Two of Cups, because I see Two of Cups as being like that feeling of you not being alone, regardless of what it is that you're connecting with. And so within this like unknown land that you're exploring, like this unseen territory that you're exploring, finding the Two of Cups within that is like finding connection to that and within that as well. And again, it feels like you're doing this on some type of like really, there's something really spiritual about this, the way that you're doing it. The way that you're doing it, what you're doing, all of that. This can be like exploring your own connections too. Okay, now I'm seeing Seven of Swords come up, which Seven of Swords can feel like doubt. It can feel like, okay, Taurus, what is this feeling like? It's feeling like there are certain things that you can feel that it's more connected with like feelings and senses, and it doesn't need to be literal stuff materially that you're seeing in front of you. You know this because when you tap in, this is something that you feel. Over here, having Seven of Swords and King of Swords can be people or energies. This can even be something reflective of like a narrative within you that's connected with like, oh, if it's not scientific, like I don't believe in it, or like if I can't see it directly in front of me, it doesn't exist, or like because I haven't had that personal experience, it must not be, you know. So it can be that part of you that's like, I think that I'm experiencing these things and it feels really spiritual and like this really deep connection that's happening, and there's something really moving within this process. And then there can be somebody around you or voices around you or this within yourself where it's like, oh, it must not be true. Like maybe I'm making it up. You know, it's just this voice. That Seven of Swords is something that's not really woken up yet, because it's something that's still sort of like covered in the darkness, but it is, Seven of Swords will yield to the light. So even though King of Swords feels like somebody is wielding this in some way, and again, can even be an aspect of your own being, know that this is something that will yield to the light, which is like knowledge and information and love and awareness, like those types of things, levity. So know that if you're having some type of experience and it's something that's ineffable because it's something that's felt and it's not something that we necessarily have the language to articulate, You may have an energy around you or within you that's being reflected in some way that's sort of trying to, you can feel like it's trying to like cover that up, like envelop this aspect of your experience to sort of shut it down. But it doesn't make it any less real because of the plane that it's tangible on. It doesn't make what you're experiencing any less real. So maybe there's something here that you're going through with, because I'm seeing King of Swords, this feels like it's attached to someone. So it can be somebody that's like, well, I've never experienced that, so I don't think that it's a real thing. But this can also be like people collectively that maybe disagree with this thing that you know to be true because you felt it, you've experienced it, you've seen it in the way that you've seen it, you know? So these are just coming from, again, like Seven of Swords are energies that are still like in the dark because they don't have that like spark of awareness yet, that you're already like tuning into and tapped into something that's far beyond just what the eye can see, like what the physical eyes can see anyway. Let's actually, I want to clarify this Seven of Swords just to see if we can get any more information about it. This can be somebody that's like this aspect of their shadow may be threatened by this because this isn't something that they've like woken up to. So their shadow is like, don't wake this person up, you know? And so you're sort of dealing with that. But the person wouldn't be aware of that. But they would feel threatened by this. This feels like it's connected with a new chapter that you're breaking out into. And maybe it's sort of about this. Because of you going really deep on a spiritual level, you can feel like you're sort of dealing with the opposite and equal force of that. And it's something that's sort of happening now at this point. Stick with it. Having the Emperor on the bottom of the deck is about you just staying in your lane and doing your own thing and not being deterred by anyone else. It's also too knowing that you don't need anybody else to validate this experience that you're having. Like, this is a very real experience that you're having. So just because there are other energies around you that aren't in understanding of it, again, to break it down, it's like you can have other energies around you that are acting like this because they're not aware of these things yet. And so that is like threatening to the part of them that's still keeping them in the dark, where they're like, it's not time to turn on the light yet. And so they're coming through being like, well, I don't see that, I don't see that, I don't see that. And so it must not be, you know, because they haven't woken up to that sense of awareness yet. So that's all that's happening. And I think, too, when you can see it that way, it feels like less threatening because it's not even an attack on you. It's just a natural reaction from the standpoint where they're coming from, of like they're really not seeing it. And so it's not real to them yet. Not consciously anyway. Like they're not aware. This is, of course, something that they know about, but not like on a conscious level yet. So that's just where they are. So that's where this is coming from. But it may come through in a way where you're like, they're trying to influence me. And maybe now I'm starting to believe it, that this isn't real. And it's like, don't let their shadow envelop you. Like their shadow will yield to your light, to your knowledge, to what you know, you know? So, enough said. I feel like we can leave the reading here actually at 9 minutes flat. Having the Empress on the bottom of the deck is about you staying connected with your divine feminine energy, and also to like seeing the Emperor on the bottom of the other deck as well. All of us have divine feminine energy, all of us have divine masculine energy. You standing within your divine feminine energy is something that is needed right here to maintain this. So that's just why it's being pointed out, even though everything's always a balance of both of those, because they're both just two different sides of the same thing, of one thing. The divine feminine energy is something that allows you to perceive things and to also know when to not take something on too. So it's like knowing the difference between like when do I want to absorb something versus when do I want to not absorb something. I'm trying to be politically correct in like the words that we're using to not be accidentally offensive. But yeah, so that's what's happening here. So don't take on this energy, okay? It's not yours, and now you know where it's coming from. So maybe less, feeling less threatened by this if you had been feeling like that, or wondering like why it's coming towards you. I'm seeing Pisces energy here. So that can be something that you feel like is heavily within your chart, can be something that you're tuning into, can be an area of your chart where you're focusing, can be just an energy that you feel like right now, something that you're, a theme that you're experiencing. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.